to The Smashing Pumpkins, My Chemical Romance, and more. Don't wait, enter now. KFAN.com. Keyword contest.
Welcome back. Tennafitzgerald, Mark Rosen joins. But, Rosey, we had some technical difficulties with the KOC presser earlier today. We have had that audio sent to Brett Blakemore. It's 17 minutes. We're not going to play all of that. You can actually listen to it all back during Vikings Rewind. Is that 6:30 tonight, Brett?
Yeah.
6:30 start time?
Fan on demand.
I'm sorry, Fan on demand.
Yes.
You'll be able to hear that entire press conference at Fan on demand at 6:30 tonight. But I wanted to play at least a couple minutes of it so the fans have can hear what the presser sound like. So let's go to that right now. KOC.
A lot of I know there's a lot of kind of reports and things out there regarding our quarterback situation, and just wanted to start out and say, we did, after some dialogue in house and just kind of daily, analyzing the overall of where we're at right now, we did name Kyler Murray our starting quarterback. From the outset of the off season, I think we've been really intentional, open about kind of the goal of creating just a competitive environment filled with wildly capable players that could then obviously elevate our quarterback room through that process, and in doing so, elevate our team. We wanted a group of guys that would challenge each other every day, regardless of what point they're at in their own personal quarterback journeys, and we've got 4 guys in 4 different places in time in their journeys, knowing that the competition and really the daily competition, the meeting room, the walkthroughs, the practices would help continue to press things forward and upward and onward. I'm really proud of how Kyler and JJ went about their business. They've been great teammates. The quarterback room is an important place, and I think it's been one of which there's been a lot of high-level ball, great dialogue amongst all the players with Josh and Jordan and myself. When they're in there, they embrace the competition, and ultimately I do think, there's been improvement. I think there's been guys really with positive feelings towards their own individual outlook on things, as well as, our team's confidence in the position. I'm also really appreciative of the rest of our players, coaches, Nolan and his personnel staff, the collaboration that's kind of took place amongst everybody, as we really wanted to, kind of do this for, as many of the purposeful, right reasons to help it be a healthy, good outcome. And I also, think that from how we did the reps to, the types of, flows involvement from a standpoint of looks that, we gave the guys different challenges on different days, while letting them, kind of compete at the same stride early on in camp. It's been a true competition, and we feel like we're at a place, where we've made a complete evaluation. I kind of always had, and we had this timeline as Nolan and I worked through the summer, kind of talking about what we wanted this to look like right around now, feeling like between 9 practices and another day of, a little bit lower volume physical work, but same type of thing above the neck mental, we would have a good idea of kind of where guys were at and would want to provide clarity not only for the players involved, but most importantly for our team, our offense, and the direction that we're going to go, so we can really start honing in on exactly what we're going to be offensively and how we're going to play complementary in all 3 phases. And I think we feel like we accomplished a lot of those things, and like excited about it, like I said. But in the short time, just speaking about Kyler, I think he's demonstrated what he's capable of. Both the experience he has playing at a high level in this league, but also his experience now of coming in here, being challenged. And I think he's shown enough to really project with the right prerequisite now of work for a starter leading into a camp, that we can get the rhythm, the timing, we can get the mastery of our system and this year's system, regardless of what we've done in previous years, what we're going to look like, how we're going to play. There's different things and nuances that, we're going to fit to what our players, Kyler included, do the best. And, in my opinion, he's got the skill set and the abilities, not only just from a standpoint of accuracy, but his ability to affect the game with his athleticism. But he's also proven to be smart, very hardworking and able to take in a lot of information and churn that out. Now we really want to give him the opportunity to really start building a comfort level, not only with the system but with the guys. In no way does this diminish anything that JJ's demonstrated. There's been real strong, solid evidence of growth. Some of the things we really pinpointed for him in the off seasons, he's shown just a tireless commitment to doing those things, and it's shown up out here on the grass, and even more so than that, he's embraced it, the challenge of it, with the right mindset every day that I think will have great benefit, on him moving forward, this daily improvement mindset. And clearly, as we've learned over the years, and nothing changes as far as JJ being an incredibly important member of our quarterback room and our team, as we need to make sure the original intent of what all of this was. We feel like we're on our way to doing that with a lot of work to still go. I'm confident in our entire quarterback room. Speaking on that point, I think Carson and Max have both shown in somewhat limited reps, trying to get those other guys reps, not only what they're capable of, but where they're at in their comfort level and their ability to go in and make throws. So as far as depth goes, we feel like we've got 4 guys we can win with, and now we get to go into kind of some opportunities in the preseason and let all 4 of those guys get some time and start really building what we're looking for from an offensive, united, kind of in-line, everybody knowing what to do, how to do it, and playing together. It's very, very important. Nolan and I met with both of the players this morning and had, great dialogue with those guys. As well as meeting with our team, shortly thereafter to make sure that, as I've said all along, it would go the players, the team, and then first stop we got letting you guys know as well. So, we'll move forward. Kyler will begin, the process of really looking at things now as our starter. We'll still be getting JJ a lot of work, a lot of reps, because it's very important that his, development and ongoing growth and arrow up that we feel very positively about continues, as we not only work through the rest of training camp, but specifically even in regards to this week, as we're kind of doing a little bit of a mock week type of week for us. We'll do some early down, normal down work today. We'll get into some pass likely stuff tomorrow, and then we'll do some third down, shrink the field little work like you guys have seen us do during the regular season. We're going to play our guys. We can get into it a little bit later in the week, kind of what that looks like. But we're going in and told the team everybody plan on playing, and every individual player will have their own kind of program and plan for the game on Saturday. I know that's a lot, but I just wanted to be as open and open it up to you guys from here.
Kevin, do you and Nolan have any concern at the outset that whoever did emerge as the eventual winner in this thing might fall a little bit behind by not taking all the reps, or was that just seen as kind of a necessary evil in the process?
I think it was important. I think it was important not only for Kyler coming in new, when at some, there can be some parts of that where I think it was a positive seeing another guy with the same type of group that you're out there with, whether it's the ones or twos. They took reps with both. Go in there and run a lot of the same principles as we installed. Some installs match up better than others. Some plays are better than others versus, what Flo tries to do every day. It's an incredible challenge. So they've clearly been stressed every day from that matter. But, it's just the appropriate time now that to allow our team and everybody clarity for exactly the direction we're moving going forward.
I should have known. My plan was just take a couple minutes of it, and then we can talk to Rosen about the decision. I should have known that KFC was going to talk for 6 minutes first. He's brilliant at word salad, not telling you anything, but he talked for so long that he negates. This had the potential of having a press conference where reporters firing this. Why'd you do this? Why'd you do that? Why'd you do that? And he talks for so long that he just negates all of that. It's really kind of a genius strategy on his part.
Filibuster is the word I think that comes to mind.
Yeah.
Many times from using that political term. But I don't think he even realizes sometimes how he gets kind of carried away. He wants to get cut to the chase, and he made the announcement. But then he goes into the kind of detail that really isn't a lot of detail. And I'm sure
an unnecessary detail.
Yeah, I mean, there's more.
We don't need to know what you're going to do at practice tomorrow.
No, I mean, the thing that I found actually most interesting was at the end saying that maybe we're gearing up to obviously get the first preseason game against the Giants on Saturday. You got the sense that maybe some of the starters will play, that they're gearing up for that. He'll get into more detail. This is only Tuesday today, so we'll hear a lot more certainly by Thursday for sure when we're out there again about what's going to happen. But on the surface, to answer your question, I think this is absolutely the least surprising response and decision that could have possibly been made. I mean, from the moment they signed Kyler Murray, this was going to be the outcome. He was going to start game one for the Minnesota Vikings. They had seen enough of what had happened at the end of last year and the turnovers, the injuries, and more importantly, and we'll get into it, who's going to make Justin Jefferson a lot better football player than he was last year when he caught 2 touchdown passes? The answer to that is clearly right now Kyler Murray. Now he's got to go out and prove it. But do not, for 1 second, I mean, Justin Jefferson is to Kyler Murray what Randy Moss was to Randall Cunningham back in 1998.
Wow.
100%. They got the best receiver in football on this team, and he disappeared last year. You cannot have that happen again. And so I'm saying when Cunningham didn't even start the 98 season, Brad Johnson did.
He did.
He got hurt after 2 games. Cunningham, who no one thought of as other than a replacement guy, came in, as we all know, closed his eyes, lit it up, threw the ball up for grabs, and Randy came away with it. And they had a hellacious offensive line. They had Robert Smith. They had a defense that's not as good as this one, but they were good enough.
All right, he's Mark Rose, and we're going to hear more on his opinion on Kyler Murray being named QB1 today by KOC and the Minnesota Vikings. More Rosen next.
This is why.
And Events Golden Ticket Raffle. You could win 2 tickets to more than 50 Minnesota sporting events, including the Twins, the Wild, the Timberwolves, Aurora, Lynx, Loons, Frost, Gopher Sports, and more. Now through September 30th, visit MNSEGoldenTicket.com for locations, hours, and details on how you could win. MNSEGoldenTicket.com.
Kyler Murray named your starting quarterback today. It was first broke by Adam Schefter of ESPN, and then KOC has confirmed it in a press conference. You'll be able to hear that press conference in its entirety, fan on demand on the air at 6:30 p.m. tonight. You know, you seem to say last segment that you weren't surprised, and nobody should be surprised that Kyler Murray was named the starting quarterback. How about the timing of it, or the fact that there was a competition at all and they were splitting reps? How do you feel?
Well, first of all, the timing of it, I think, is perfect. We talked about, I mentioned it last week, and you mentioned it as well. Before Common took off for his week, I said, I fully expected that KOC's, he should name him as the starting quarterback this week, because at this point, you got to send a clear message to the team and everyone else, but more importantly, to give him the most possible reps getting ready, not for the New York Giants, but for the Green Bay Packers. And it all starts with that. I mean, he can be spending 18 hours out there, I'm talking about Murray, and still not get enough work. I mean, when the learning curve he has to have, you can't get enough of it. Let's just say this again, and I don't know how much, if at all, we're going to see Murray, JJ. I assume we're going to see a lot more of Carson Wentz and Max Brosmer in the preseason, but hopefully both those guys, the first 2 quarterbacks, will play some. But again, you got to start with the premise, and I know there's so much attention given, and has been, to these daily practices and what the stats were and all this other stuff. And you have to take a step back and remind yourself that no one ever remembers the preseason. When the week leading up to the Packer game on September 13th begins, you think we're going to be talking about, God, remember that preseason game we had here against the Ravens and Max Brosmer looked real? No!
I don't even remember who they played in the preseason last year.
You don't. And it's not to take anything away from guys who are trying to fight for jobs, maybe make a team with a special teams performance. There are jobs available. This is why they play those games, but it's also a money-making bit. That's what we've all said. And this is, that's why they cut it to 3, and why the scrimmages they have, in this case, the Vikings against the Ravens, is more important. But as far as any results go and all the other things, we're talking about practice, and I think that it's important, but it shouldn't be overemphasized because there's too many cases, too many times, whether you're a Baker Mayfield, who's gone through the ups and downs of a career where now he's really cashing in and had his moments of glory early in his career, unlike really what J.J. McCarthy had. But McCarthy's missed 25 games because of injuries in 2 seasons. He's had a number of turnovers. We saw flashes, and I still believe in him. I want J.J. McCarthy to succeed. And Kyler Murray is playing the Sam Darnold role this year. Arizona said, "Here, we'll pay you $35 million to go away." And I think you're right. I think Arizona's absolutely tanking in their own way this year to get a quarterback. But Murray is got that boulder on his shoulder right now. I'm saying people around the league are looking at him going, you're just okay. I mean, you're not worth. I can't believe Arizona's paying you that much money. Well, now he's got to prove it. This is the best roster again that he's ever been on. He's never had. I mean, Justin Jefferson on the offensive line, a defense that the Vikings will be putting on the field that Brian Flores is putting on, that Murray is facing every day in practice. It's a whole different animal. And that's not to suggest the Vikings are going to run away and hide with the NFC North. They're not. I mean, it's going to be an uber competitive division, as we all know. But Murray has that chance now to duplicate what Darnold did. I mean, he has that chance because when Sam Darnold rolled into town, I don't think people are going, wow, we got him. And that he was burning it up and people were breaking down his reps at TCO in practice and going, oof, boy, it looks like we got something special going on here. No, I mean, and then, we've had the Vikings have gone through, as we all know, they've been.
But to your point, like when Darnold's year here, it was kind of, I shouldn't say competition, but they weren't naming him the starting quarterback right away. It was him and J.J. McCarthy.
Right.
And we didn't hear reports at that time of, man, Darnold's tearing it up.
No, not
in
at
our
all.
Training camp practice.
Not at all.
And he had a pretty good season out of it.
Well, and I understand that this was the coach kind of made this happen. I mean, the coaching staff and the GM, turned this into a competition when it probably really didn't need to be. I mean, if KOC had come out in, minicamp and said, look, Kyler Murray's our starting quarterback. We hope that JJ gets a great year of learning under his belt. But they kind of, I'm not saying they made up this competition, but you'll never convince me that it was a real competition. That Murray was going to be the guy the moment he signed that contract to come here. And JJ's got a lot to, I mean, I enjoyed watching him from that Bears game. I mean, he had some moments last year. I think he is learning, and there's a lot of young guys, and O'Connell said it today, that McCarthy's going to have to write his own story. And
I was going to say, how do you think he's going to handle this?
Like a pro. I really do. I mean, he's going to be hugely disappointed. I'm sure he is, but you don't really have a choice right now. You gotta buck up and realize that Kyler Murray's had a bunch of injuries in his career.
Yes.
You're literally, one snap away from getting that opportunity, becoming, a Sam Darnold. You have an opportunity. You got to stay prepared as prepared could be. And the idea that Kyler Murray is going to play all 16 games and not go out for a series or 2 or 3 with an ankle or something, when you're running, trying to spread the defense around and, getting nicked up. We know he's missed a bunch of games. So you better be damn straight ready to go and be at your best, because you never know when that's going to happen. And that's just the nature of the National Football League. But, again, I get back to my original thesis here, if you want to call it that I think they, and Jefferson's been such a good soldier, unlike a lot of divas who play that position. But come on. I mean, you got to keep that dude happy. He was not happy last year. And you can't, as they say, you can't throw those hospital balls to him. You got to put the ball. And I think what Murray's going to be able to do as far as using his legs to buy Jefferson more time to spread that defense around and give him a second or two open, I think could be real special. But again, that's neither here nor there today. We know who the quarterback's going to be, and we got 3 exhibition games to wade through. and get ready for the opening day.
I am wondering if people are just, because there's a lot of people passionate about.
Oh, I understand that.
Wondering why J.J. McCarthy, maybe at this stage, is not the starter anymore. I guess maybe the timing of it, that J.J. McCarthy, I don't know if you were out there this weekend, but J.J. McCarthy reportedly outplayed Kyler Murray, especially at the scrimmage. I said it yesterday with Brett that, this Saturday game against the Giants creates a little bit of a deadline for you. Like, if you go into that with still a quarterback competition, you're kind of putting your quarterbacks and your number one starters at other positions in a weird spot in that game, right? If it's a true competition, well, then both of your guys have to play. And if both of your guys have to play, then all of your starters need to be out there for to make it a fair competition.
And they're not.
Right? So I
mean, you can list X number of those starters on offense who aren't going to see the field. Justin Jefferson's going to be wearing a microphone on the sidelines, yucking it up. He won't
play it down in the preseason.
No, he won't play it down. Christian Darrisaw won't play. I mean, he's healthy. There'll be a couple offensive linemen that'll play a series or two. That's just, again, we go through this conversation every single year. And I think it's the case. Your team isn't going to be the same team, not even close to it. And it's going to be as vanilla as possible. We've heard all about the Vikings trying to get a rejuvenated running attack. They got a new running back coach. They're not going to show a lot this preseason, waiting to see what that's going to look like. But this is every team that goes through this. I'm watching Hard Knocks with the Super Bowl champs with Seattle. They're not going to show their hand. You know what Seattle's capable of doing, and I think the Vikings are going to be, and by halftime of the Giants game, we're going to go, what else is on TV? I mean, I'm not literally saying that, but you know what I mean? It's like, I remember what exhibition football is about. Yeah, it's just another firm reminder of what that's all about.
More Kyler and JJ talk coming up. If you want to text us, you can text us at the Bradshaw and Bryant KFAN text line 64686. You can also leave a talk back on the iHeartRadio app. You got no more than 30 seconds. Just hit that microphone next to the play button. We'll take your texts and talk backs on Kyler and JJ next with Rosey.
It's Brandon Molesky.
A Brandon ship, arena this year, including Journey October 4th, Smashing Pumpkins October 13th. Tickets are on sale now. Get complete details on all of our upcoming shows on the concert page, KFAN.com, keyword calendar, KFAN.com, keyword calendar.
Yeah, I don't know why you won't answer the phone, so I can call in and set you guys straight. Rosen just talked for about 3.5 minutes and didn't say anything. Just nonsense. And quit comparing it to Darnold. This is not Darnold. Murray's an established quarterback in this league. He's proven to be successful. You guys don't know what you're talking about. And it was a competition. You guys literally don't know. I'm going to...
There's a second one after that.
No. Brody? Oh,
yeah,
no.
They cut me off for some reason.
Oh, good
You guys
Lord.
must have done it on purpose.
Yeah, we did.
Tired of this thing.
Technology, Brody.
I'm assuming you've seen the movie Swingers.
Oh, I love that movie.
Remind me of the scene towards the end where he keeps calling the voicemail like 8 times to his
so
ex-girlfriend.
Awkward. That's one of the most awkward scenes when we had answering machines. Oh my God!
I gotta go watch that movie again. That's a great movie.
It's so good. Vince Vaughn, unrecognizable Vince Vaughn now. Skinny Vince Vaughn. That's funny.
All right, got a bunch of texts at the Bradshaw and Bryant KFAN text line 64686. They like to get you going. This is a common man thing. This is not me. I'm just the messenger. It says,
I don't care.
Rosen now says it was obvious from the start that Kyler would be the starter this year. Am I wrong in remembering that Rosey insisted it would be an open competition? Wasn't he the one saying, what will that do to JJ? If Kyler was named the starter, inferring it would be unfair to JJ if he wasn't.
Oh my gosh. There's 2 ways to look at it. Yes, I mean, as far as the competition goes, I mean, I think KOC wanted to establish that to try to get the best out of J.J. McCarthy. And he said, he's got an opportunity to write his own story. And, and why Kyler Murray looked had a little more savvy, a little more experience with it. J.J. McCarthy has started 10 games in the NFL. And I'm not throwing cold water on the kid. I hope he does produce, and it has an opportunity. And because, like I said, with Murray's injury history and everything else that goes on in the NFL, I mean, he cannot be the forgotten man on this roster, and that he has an opportunity to be ready to play, and it could very likely end up being maybe the most important cog on this team if Murray goes down for a game or two. That's just the nature of the NFL. We talk about injuries every single week. But I mean, yeah, it wasn't open competition, but I do think that when they signed him, it was probably the ink wasn't dry. But I mean, the idea that they brought him in because they weren't happy with the way the last season ended. And again, it gets back to keeping a guy named Justin Jefferson happy. He puts up a good front.
Well, keeping Ziggy Wilf and Mark Wilf happy too.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't want to watch that type of year again. Another text says, Murray is trash and Rosen is a fraud. Better off playing JJ and seeing if he can figure it out. Best case, you got a guy. Worst case, you get a top pick and you try again. Here's to another 8-9 win season and the 17th pick.
All right. Well, I'm not going to argue with somebody's opinion about that. That's why we have these shows, and you're free to express your opinion. I don't think Murray is trash. I mean, he's had some really good years, some not great years. He's had injuries, but I will say this again, and I go back to the Randall Cunningham example in '98, where Randall Cunningham was just kind of a throw-in kind of guy to fill in the roster. Look at the team he had around him, and I'm not saying this team is as explosive. That was arguably one of the top 3 offenses in the history of the National Football League. But Kyler Murray's never had a team like this offense or a defense that he's been on. Whatever Kyler Murray has to prove in this prove-it year, he better damn well do it this year, because otherwise teams are going to shy away. Aren't going to go, look at he is what he is. He couldn't do this with Kevin O'Connell as the head coach and Justin Jefferson and this offensive line and the Brian Flores defense. No, I mean.
Well, the thing with Kyler is he's always been a little polarizing in his career.
Absolutely,
there is a wide range of outcomes here.
And rightfully so.
Cato Plummer guy says, I didn't even know this, so I'll have to maybe check this to verify. He says, Kyler ranks 5th all-time in NFL history for pass completion percentage, for what it's worth. Then you got a mark from Hibbing that says, well, because you're making the 98 Vikings comparisons, will Kyler be closer to Cunningham or McNabb? I think we call him McBounce Pass.
Well, I hope he's not McNabb-like. That was when they got Donovan McNabb near the end of his career. That was a disaster.
Did not go well.
Did not go well. He didn't have the team that Randall Cunningham had, and Randall could throw the ball 10 miles in the air, and that's all he had to do. I mean, there's so many stories about that season. I've talked to a lot of those guys from that 98 team where, Billick would just signal the play, and Randall would, I mean, I'm not just saying he'd close his eyes and throw it as far as he could, and Randy would go up and get it, but I think anyone who remembers that year, and he had a running attack, he had a great offensive line, he didn't have to be a Superman, and unfortunately,
it's got to be the greatest set of wide receivers in NFL history. Like those three,
those pretty hard to top them. I mean,
I called them 3 deep. That's what I called them.
Could have coined that phrase.
But I mean, that set of wide receivers, offensive line was terrific.
Yeah.
Running game, I wouldn't say was great, but was good.
Robert Smith, Leroy Horde.
They were good.
Better than good. But
I think it helped having those wide receivers and that offensive line.
Of course it did. Of course it did. And that their defense was okay. We got a guy named Johnny Randall.
Well, they were up 2 touchdowns every game, so that was becomes easier to play defense.
They didn't have to do that. But well,
that's the thing is, like, we're talking about how great like B-Flow is in this defense. Like, they played well last year, and they were never really in a situation where, hey, we're up in a game and we can start attacking, right? I mean, they were. But if we can get an offense that can get that defensive lead, I mean, look out.
And for those of you and I understand the J.J. McCarthy thing. I mean, I mentioned Baker Mayfield. I'm not saying it's the ultimate comparison because Baker had more success early in his career than J.J. has had. But he's had ups and downs. He's had injuries. He's been through a couple 3-4 different teams. I think he was with Carolina for a spell, right? And man, he's cashed in. Well, the Vikings will be facing Baker Mayfield, and who's, by the way, said he's not going to. I don't think he's going to sign another contract.
They're having some contract issues.
Yeah, the Vikings play at Tampa Bay on September 27th.
Are you saying he's going to be our quarterback next year? This is our 4th year in a row, the new quarterback.
It would really be nice to have some stability. And again, this is if Murray has that kind of year that they'd expect him to have, what does that mean? Are the Vikings going to try to re-sign him, or is he going to go, look, I can not only pull a Sam Darnold, I can really cash in now because I got 6 teams knocking down my door. That's what he's hopeful that's going to happen. He just turned 28, 29 years old? Kyler? I think
he played last year 28, so I'm assuming he'll be 29 at some point.
Yeah, so, I mean, he's right in the heart of his career, and that's why you have to keep developing a J.J. McCarthy, and you hope it does ring true, and he does put his nose to the grindstone and figure it out and continue to get the reps and be ready when called upon, because I think there's obviously a really good chance he will be called upon at some point this year.
Neil H. says Kyler will get rocked out of the pocket and get injured, and we'll get a good look at J.J. anyway.
Well, why would you wish that? I mean, I don't know.
I don't know if he's wishing that.
Well, wishing or, I don't know.
I guess the point is, both of those guys. Yeah. The reason they're both in this situation has injuries is a big part of it.
Yeah. And I know there are Carson Wentz fans out there, and Carson's healthy again. And the guy was a warrior last year, having to get the crap beat out of him, with that shoulder that was hanging by a thread. And it's not bad to have a guy like Carson Wentz on this team but let's not kid ourselves. I mean, I don't believe, some people believe Carson Wentz should be the backup. I don't know. I mean, J.J. McCarthy should be the backup and is the backup. Wentz is on the team for a reason, but you don't want to have to go to your third quarterback if you don't have to. That's for sure.
Keaton from Bismarck Nodak says, huge if here, but if Kyler starts the season extremely well, both statistically and record-wise, does the possibility of JJ being traded grow closer to the trade deadline? My thinking being that in the best-case scenario, Kyler becomes more of a potential long-term option.
No,
we call that a good problem to have.
No, and I think the answer to that is no, because I think you're assuming that Nolan Teasley and the Vikings, even if Kyler has the kind of year that Sam Darnold had, and short of winning a Super Bowl, he's going to want to cash in. And how much are the Vikings going to want to try to reinvest in him? All those things are problems that a year from now, but I think it's all the more reason why you don't want to give up on your 10th pick in a quarterback like J.J. McCarthy, who's, again, with the 10 starts he has, he may very well end up being their future quarterback. It could be next year, but trading him, I don't think. First of all, I don't think they get all that much for him right now.
No, you wouldn't,
because he's not playing and he's not starting. So what is a team that's like? Well, I don't know, like the Arizona Cardinals. Who are going to try to draft a quarterback, and if they finish where most people think they're going to finish, but as you mentioned, there's a really good quarterback class coming out. I don't think they're in the mood to give up a second-round draft pick for J.J. McCarthy.
He ain't getting that, no.
No. So, the answer to trade him.
He's getting a day 3 NFL draft pick, but if you are convinced he's not the guy, if you sell him for as high as you can. Like, if you think his value is only get lower, then you try to get your 4th now instead of a 6th or 7th later, or, giving him up for free, right? I don't think that it's a wise thing to do, and I hope they will keep him, and I hope he continues to kind of figure things out. 10 games into his career. We got some talkbacks over there, Brett.
We do. We'll go here.
Hey, Mark and Tanna. Dean from Rosemount here. Not acknowledging Blake Moore, of course.
Fair enough.
I'm going with Kyler plays 14 games, JJ plays 2, Wentz plays 2. We squeak into the playoffs and get beat. And Baker Mayfield next year. Skull.
Who's starting that playoff game? That's what I want to know. He said the regular season. Well, he did say 18 games combined.
So that's...
We're not on an 18-game schedule yet, are we? We're still at 17?
17.
We got the bye week there?
Yeah.
So I'm curious who that playoff start was going to be with. Any others over there?
So I've got 2 more for you, and I think this just illustrates the divide, the chasm between...
You're loving this, Mr. Packer fan, aren't you?
No, because
you're enjoying
I'm going to play Duckies and Bunnies, too. So I've got Captain Negative and Duckies and Bunnies. We'll start negative.
Right. We will never win anything as long as KOC is our coach.
Wow.
He should be a politician. He's got a slick tongue and no plan. Doesn't run the ball. Wants to be the hero of the team instead of the players. The Vikings will be nothing until he's gone. Nothing.
So
he would be a good politician. I mean, I don't know his political views. I don't know if I agree with his political views, but in terms of like just a politician who's like pretty likable guy who just throws word salads and doesn't ever really say anything. Like he
fits the mold.
Oh yeah, he's got it.
Here's the other side of that.
Let's have a little positivity, guys. Kyler Murray doesn't have to even be a superhero. All he's got to do is play point guard, get the ball out to his playmakers. You got Jefferson, you got Addison, you got Hawkinson, maybe a little Aaron Jones on the flat, hand it out to a jacked up Mason, pound it down the middle. Let's build off of this training camp. You got Ty Felt making one-handed catches. You got that speedy Claiborne coming out of the backfield. You got the fullback trucking people. Let's go.
There you go.
There you have it.
So there's
the two sides of the.
And I as far as the running game, I think you're going to see a whole different style. Whether it's going to be successful, hell, who knows? But they're definitely changing the scheme and what they're going to be doing. And I hope the kid gets a chance to play Claiborne and gets a chance to. He's not going to play in terms of passing situations. I think he's got a long ways to go from what we're hearing about his pass block, which is not unusual for a young player. But, I think they're going to run the ball much more. And again, a lot of that has to do with a guy named Christian Darrisaw, and Donovan Jackson in his second year. And this offensive line, again, knock on wood, staying healthy, is, I think, going to be very, very good. Claiborne's a running back who's, in theory, the home run hitter, the Jamar Gibbs type of speed. Not that he's accomplished.
Sounds like you're making the Jahmyr Gibbs comparison.
No, I'm not at all.
Okay.
I said not that he's in that same sort of capacity at the moment, but you know what I'm saying. The Vikings haven't had a guy like that for a while, but we'll see how that works out.
All right, we got about 4 or 5 minutes, so it's time to basically do bullet points on everything non-Kyler Murray that we haven't been able to talk about.
Yeah.
We got some intel on Wolves' schedule. We don't the NBA schedule will release tomorrow, but we do know they'll open the season October 21st at South Beach versus the Miami Heat and the Greek Freak.
Right.
And we also know they're going to be playing on Christmas. They're going to host a Christmas game at Target Center versus the Oklahoma City Thunder, 7 p.m. start on Christmas Day. But the full schedule will come out tomorrow. But two pretty notable games there for the Wolves.
Yeah, and it's notable that they get to host their first. That's traditionally the biggest the opening. Obviously, the opening of the season's a lot earlier than that, but. To get a Christmas night game. And that goes up because I know there's an NFL game that night. Because the NFL doesn't miss an opportunity to play on any holiday. And I'm sure the NFL will completely overshadow the Wolves game. But the fact that, the Wolves were to never even get thought of as far as playing on Christmas Day, that gives you an idea with LaMelo in particular and Ant against, OKC and the cast of characters that they have. That'll be a rousing night of basketball at Target Center, that they get that kind of reward. They're going to have all the featured teams on there. You're going to have obviously, LeBron back in the mix, and the Knicks and Philadelphia, with LeBron, and the Lakers are still the Lakers, et cetera, et cetera. But at least the Wolves and San Antonio, of course. They're over in Paris right now, hanging out with Rudy.
Yes,
that's a pretty funny video. That's really man.
I like the video of Anthony Edwards saying, "That's Disney World over
Disney.
there," just pointing at the Eiffel Tower.
I can't even imagine those guys. They're all 25 years old,
living the life,
hanging out with Rudy. I'm sure they're playing little hoops over there, but. Good for them. I don't know. I wouldn't call it like, for old school guys, kind of like the Pecos River with the Vikings kind of kumbaya, but a little different going to Paris than it is someplace, somewhere else that wouldn't be quite as glamorous.
Twins already won their trade versus the Baltimore Orioles because Dean Kramer with the start last night, former Oriole against his former team, 7 innings, gave up 1 hit, 1 run, striking out 7. Yeah. Only allowed 2 of the first 22 batters to reach base as the Twins win 9-5 last night. Yeah,
that was a nice bounce back after a competitive but disappointing series against, arguably the best team in baseball, or one of the top 3 teams in baseball, and they let those slip away kind of late in the games. But, they've been playing better baseball. And we're seeing Royce Lewis waking up and contributing. I don't think Byron Buxton is too far away. Man,
he worked out yesterday pregame.
Yeah, that would be. They really could use a boost with getting him.
The
back
offense
out
has been
there.
struggling lately. It wasn't last night, but
yeah, but I mean, getting you don't want Keishel necessarily running around out there in center field, and Culpepper's learning the ropes at shortstop, and he may be better served just playing a little second base right now, but. Whatever the case may be, but getting Buxton back would really help, and they got some relief pitching now, which is the biggest improvement that I've seen so far from the before the trading deadline.
Odds the Minnesota Lynx win the WNBA championship.
Are you asking what the odds are?
No, but your opinion.
Oh goodness! I mean,
they're heavy favorites, aren't they?
Well, I'm not saying heavy.
I am. They're the best team in basketball.
Well, I mean, but I'm saying there's some really good competition, but I think they got a bit of a chip on their shoulder after what happened a year ago, and as long as you got Nafisa back and is healthy, and Olivia Miles and McBride, I mean they had quite a game against Dallas the other day with Paige Beckers in town, and kudos for Paige for sticking around, and my old stomping grounds not too far from here in St. Louis Park. I think devoting a lot of money for a playground that she grew up playing on, so that was very cool. But yeah, I mean the Lynx are going to be the team to watch again. I mean Cheryl's got them buzzing right now, and they had one little slip with their defense, and she let them have it, and they bounced back with a couple of back-to-back wins over very good opponents. So yeah, they're gonna be right there with Vegas and a couple other temes.
And you just mentioned so many superstars, and you didn't even mention Kayla McBride, who broke the WNBA.
What did I say?
Did you say McBride? I thought you missed her.
I know I said another player. Yeah, how about that?
Maybe I'd stop listening to you. I don't know.
Okay, Common.
Well, thanks for coming. You're off tomorrow because we're not doing noon to 3 tomorrow.
Schedule, yeah.
Tennafitzgerald 9 to noon start tomorrow, but then I'll be back.